Is your ex ignoring you? Or maybe they're just acting cold and uninterested when you reach out to them. Maybe they even told you to never contact them again. Well, in this video, I'll be explaining 6 of the most common reasons why your ex won't talk to you and what you can do about it. Now, if you want your ex back, then you definitely want to watch this video to the end because you need to know why your ex isn't talking to you right now. But even if you don't ever want to get back together, everything I'm going to cover in the next few minutes still applies. So this video is really for anyone wondering why their ex has gone silent. Oh, and as you already know, I'm sure, I'm Brad Browning, breakup coach and best-selling author of the X Factor Guide to Getting an Ex Back. Now, let's get into the first common reason why your ex won't talk to you right now. And that is, number 1, they're worried you might talk them into getting back together. Now, this is actually way more common than you might think. And if you want your ex back, then this is actually great news for you. Let me quickly explain. See, a lot of people break up because they feel that it's the right decision. You know, their heart says, stay together, it's more comfortable, and then you won't feel any heartache. But their head says, you know, this relationship has no future, it's not right, and I need to end things. Now, I've been in this exact situation several times myself when I was younger, and maybe you have as well. And you know in this kind of situation that you probably should move on, but you also fear the unknowns that come with being single. You know, staying together is easier and less painful, and breaking up is scary, and it means facing heartache and loneliness. But on the other hand, you know, sometimes you just know that things aren't working. Maybe your ex was unhappy with the state of your relationship, or maybe they felt there wasn't any real future and the time had come to pull the plug. Now this, of course, is the rational, logical side of their brain speaking. And it was telling them that breaking up was the best decision for the long term. But the key thing here is that your ex is facing an internal battle between their head and their heart. And it's highly likely that they dreaded breaking up and that they probably aren't at all certain that they've made the right choice. So in the first while after breaking up, they'll be missing you and their heart will continue to scream, make the pain go away by getting back together. They know that they decided that breaking up was the right choice, but they also desperately want to get back together so that the pain and the loneliness will disappear. Now, why is all of this causing them to ignore you? Well, basically they're worried you'll be able to talk them into getting back together. They just don't trust their own willpower and they think that by engaging with you, they might finally break down and take you back. Even though they had already previously decided that that wasn't the right choice for the long term, logically speaking. Now again, if you want to get back together, this is usually very good news. It means that your ex is only ignoring you because they fear a single phone call or a meetup will lead them to caving in and asking to get back together. Now, if you are in this situation, do not force things, especially if you've already made it clear to your ex that you want them back. Keeping your distance is your best bet for now until your ex shows more interest in reconnecting. Now, I realize this can be a complicated situation to deal with, so please visit breakupbrad.com/coaching and sign up for a month of my one-on-one coaching if you want more personalized guidance on how to deal with this type of scenario. All right, now let's move on to the second reason why your ex might not be talking to you, which is number 2, they're upset at you for something you did or said. Well, obviously this one doesn't require much explanation at all. If you did something stupid to hurt your ex before the breakup, or if you've just been a complete dick to them since, then chances are they're just bitter about it, right? They're too blinded by their anger to even think about replying to your messages, and you're likely not going to be able to change their feelings. Most of the time, if this is the kind of situation that you're facing, you're going to know. It'll be clear that your ex is pissed off, and that's why they're giving you the silent treatment. So the response to this, apologize once if you haven't already, be sincere and show empathy for their feelings, and show some regret for your actions that caused them to get so mad. After that, you'll just have to wait it out, as time is really the only thing that's going to change how they feel. If you try to push things and continue to attempt to contact them over and over again, it's only going to make things worse. Really, the only other thing you might be able to do in this type of situation to change how your ex feels about you is to send them my clean slate message. Now, I've made another video about that previously, which I'll link to in the description below if you want to learn more about the few specific situations where you can use the clean slate message safely. And number 3, they're feeling guilty for hurting you by breaking up. So just because your ex decided to break up doesn't mean they don't still love you. Often, the worst part about dumping somebody is knowing how much pain it's going to cause them. You know, when you still have feelings for someone, you're going to hate the idea of hurting them or causing them pain of any kind. And some people don't deal with that kind of emotion very well. And they choose to go completely silent as a way of coping. So, you know, maybe they worry that talking to you will give you false hope of getting back together. So they've just decided to ignore you as a way to sort of avoid, you know, stringing you along and causing any further pain than they're already feeling. Or it can sometimes be that they feel guilty for staying together when they knew that the relationship was already doomed. Now, it's going to be hard to know if this is the case for your ex. Again, as with most of the reasons that I'll cover in this video, spamming your ex over and over to try to get a reply is not going to work. It's also not going to make your ex admit their guilt or that that was the reason that they've been ignoring you. So please take my word for it and give your ex some time and space before you reach out again, even if you're confident that guilt is the reason why they're not talking to you right now. All right, moving on now, and brace yourself because this next one is definitely the most painful. And that is number 4, they're already with someone new. Now, I'm sorry, but unfortunately, this is one of the more common reasons why your ex might be ignoring you or just generally be unwilling to engage in any kind of meaningful conversation. Sometimes even the most considerate and morally upstanding people are guilty of jumping from one serious relationship into another. Now, if your ex had any respect for you and your feelings, they'll try to keep their new romance hidden from you for the first month or 2 after breaking up. And if that is the case, they might be ignoring you to avoid telling you that they're already with somebody new. Unfortunately, there's some people out there who only break up with somebody once they've already lined up their next relationship. So that way, they never really have to face the pain of a breakup since they just sort of slide from one serious relationship into the next. Now, I hope that's not the case for you, and it's probably not, but it is always a possibility. Now, regardless of the details, this is one reason why your ex might not be willing to talk to you right now. You know, they may not want you to know about their new love interest, knowing that it'll hurt you to find out, or they might just be trying to keep things quiet to protect their own reputation more generally. Now, if your ex is dating someone new already, and you know for a fact, don't panic. It could very well just be a short-term rebound fling, and your ex may not be ignoring you for that reason at all. So I recommend you go to breakupbrad.com/quiz and take my free quiz to see if this means that it's over for good or if you've still got a chance to turn things around. Again, breakupbrad.com/quiz is where you can take it for free in just a few minutes. Next up is number 5. They're worried it'll be awkward and weird. Yes, this does actually happen, and it's actually pretty common as well, especially for less serious relationships where you were only together for a few months. Sometimes in this type of situation, you know, your ex not talking to you might simply be because they fear the encounter is going to be awkward or weird in some way. Now, I see this often with my younger clients who happen to work with their ex or go to the same classes at school together. You know, ever since breaking up, they'll be getting the cold shoulder from their ex at work or in class together. And it's often fairly obvious, you know, because your ex might still be willing to reply to some of your texts at other times, but they'll be very obviously trying to be avoiding you when you're in person around them or avoiding situations where they might be forced into a conversation with you. Now, don't take it personally and don't read anything into this type of thing. It's mostly a bit of immaturity showing on your ex's part, and it's usually an obstacle that you can overcome if you're trying to get back together. And last but not least, number 6, you've already begged, pleaded, or annoyed your ex to the point where they decided to block you. Now, hopefully this isn't the reason that your ex isn't talking to you, at least not if you care about ever getting them back or being friends down the road. But unfortunately, I see it all the time with my clients, and it makes me sad. Because, you know, it's natural to panic when you suddenly get dumped or when you have to face the reality of life without your ex in it. But sadly, that leads many people to go way overboard and beg or plead or even send, you know, dozens of needy texts or calls. And really, all of this behavior will be a huge turnoff for your ex, and it's probably going to become annoying for them as well. So if you've spammed your ex to death, you know, with multiple messages and calls, tried again and again to talk your way back into their heart or even lashed out at them in anger, you know, and said hurtful things, any kind of negative, needy, or desperate behavior can eventually lead your ex to decide not to respond anymore in hopes that you will stop. Maybe they've even blocked your number and blocked you on social media as well. Again, I hope you're not in this situation because really it's not a good place to be if you're still hoping to get them back. Now, that's not to say I've never seen a client get their ex back when they'd already made, you know, numerous mistakes and even been blocked. But the odds obviously are pretty slim. And if you're going to have any chance of salvaging things, you must immediately stop trying to contact your ex and start a lengthy period of no contact. Also, please consider signing up for my one-on-one coaching if you're in a situation that's this desperate already, because really you can't afford any more mistakes moving forward. Now, obviously, if you're done with your ex and you're ready to move on, then this isn't the end of the world. But you do need to take a hint at this point and leave your ex alone until they reach out to you, because, you know, continuing to bother them further, it just makes you look pathetic and it definitely won't do you any good. All right, hopefully at this point you have a better understanding as to why your ex won't talk to you right now. As I mentioned before, try my free quiz out at breakupbrad.com/quiz if you have any interest in starting over with your ex. The quiz will tell you your odds of getting them back, and it'll give you some personalized suggestions on how to make that happen as quickly as possible. And finally, you made it this far into the video, so please do me a huge favor and click subscribe below to subscribe to my channel. It only takes you half a second to click that little red button, and it really helps me out and motivates me to make more videos like this one. So good luck out there, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.